Hi there, Joe here from Wildfire Social Marketing. Welcome to today's LinkedIn profile review, and today's lucky volunteer or victim is Julianne Sparke from DDLS. So thanks for being a volunteer today. So I'm going to be running through your profile, Julianne, and I will share a few things you can do to quick fixes for your profile to position you effectively, meet and to match your personal and business brand. And hopefully these tips will help other people who are watching. So let's start at the top. Now we've got this lovely connected little image here, which is a LinkedIn default. So my first thing to do here would be change that. So change your background image to match your brand. Now I know that your brand is very vibrant green, so I would be putting something there that brings out that brand. So it could be something with your logo on. It could be, say, a photo of your beautiful training room. It could be a photo out of your window. It could be a photo of the city skyline. Something around that positions you, brands you, that fits what you do. Profile photo, that's great. Nice headshot, friendly, professional, clear, like that. Your name is just your name. And now the headline. The headline is this line underneath your name. Now, I like to refer to this as a positioning statement. And when you update your LinkedIn profile, LinkedIn will prompt you to update. Say you add a new role to your experience, it will ask if you want to update your headline to match, which I don't believe is the best use of your headline. Your headline needs to connect to your audience and encourage people to click on your profile because it follows you everywhere. And what I mean by that, if we just quickly look down the side, people also viewed, you've got these different people showing up on your profile and all you see is their name, photo, and headline. So that's the power of the headline. So you can see exactly what they do or not necessarily. So I can see with your organization, you've got the title and companies, which is what you've got. So when it comes to an organization, especially a larger one, it's good to have some guidelines at an organizational level to give staff some structure into how they position themselves. So a WA State Manager at DDLS, we know exactly what you do and who you work for the company, but I don't know what you do. So if I don't know DDLS, I don't know, there's no context there. So what I would recommend is maybe have exactly what you've got and then some sort of divider like the pipe symbol or something like that. And then what problem is it you're solving? What are you fixing for people? What do DDLS do? And also what keywords are your ideal clients looking for to find you? So think in their seat, put those words into your profile, particularly your headline, so that straight away it's clear what you do. I mean, most of your clients probably know who DDLS are anyway, so it may not be an issue. But for someone who may not know of them yet, it's good to have that just for, like I said, just for that clarity, that context, that keywords. So do that for yourself, and then you can then roll that out to your team and work out a format for that. Scrolling down, we've got the highlights section. So from the viewer's perspective, it's what we've got in common. So I can see we've got 41 mutual connections and we're in 2 groups together. So that will obviously change depending on the viewer. Then we've got your articles and activity. This is your thought leadership context and shows that you're alive and kicking on LinkedIn. So firstly, to the left, you'll have one article, your most recent article out of your library of articles. So I can see February in 2016 you last published. So my next action for you is to create a content strategy. Now, you might think I haven't got time to write blogs. You don't necessarily have to write them from scratch. You can repurpose content from your website. Maybe you could write a collaborative piece with your team. Maybe you could have the top 10 tips for XYZ, and your team members could contribute a tip each, and you just bring it together. You can engage someone like me to actually facilitate that and manage it for you, or you might have someone on a team who loves writing who you can get to do that for you. So I would certainly leverage that and come up with a schedule. So you might decide to publish once a month, once a week, whatever it is for you that's realistic and doable. And of course, once you publish content, you've now got something you can market. Because once you've published it, not everybody's going to necessarily see it. So you come up with a marketing strategy to market that content within LinkedIn and elsewhere, on Twitter, on Facebook, maybe via email, via your newsletter, so outside of LinkedIn. And also, when you're part of a larger team, you need to activate your team to engage with your content, share your content, maybe share it to your company page. So there's a lot more to your content strategy than just publishing a quick article. On the other side, you've got your activity. So this shows me that you're alive and kicking on LinkedIn and you're active. So I can see the things you've liked, commented on, and shared. Now, if I want to see more about your activity, I can click on either of these links. It takes me to the same area, and you'll see there's 3 tabs now. This is a new part of LinkedIn, and I really love what they've done here because it makes it really easy when you're doing some research on somebody. So if I wanted to find out more about Julianne and what you're actually all about and what you're interested in, what your subject matter expertise is, what your thoughts are, in a professional context, this is great. So articles is your library of articles visible in like a reverse timeline. I'm not a fan of the view. I'm a fan of the fact that they're all together. I like the previous view in the old version, but the fact that it's here is great. Posts are content that you have curated. So this is your shares. So this is you sharing a link to an article on your website, a link to some news article, a photo. Maybe you're at a conference and you've taken a photo, you've shared it. This all comes up in this post area. So these are your short form posts. Articles are your long form posts, blogs. So I can see here your last post was a week ago. So activity here would be, or actions here would be to create a bit of an activity plan, just to make sure that you're constantly active. I mean, you don't want to be overactive. You don't want to be sort of posting 10 times in one day and then nothing for 2 weeks. So space it all out. You can use scheduling tools here as well, but use them really strategically. But this is, I mean, the power of LinkedIn is those in the moment shares. So if you're at an event, think about what, maybe your activity is each event you're going to share one post to LinkedIn. So pick something relevant, take a photo of something, some slide with a quote that stands out, and then add some context to that to add your thought leadership. Then we've got all activity, and this is where the things that show up where you have engaged with other people's content. So your likes, your comments, your shares will show up here. So I can see that you liked this particular update, which is from obviously one of your staff, which is great because that's amplifying that forward. So by liking Jordan's update, you're putting it into the news feed potentially of your connections, which is great. But also it's attached to your profile in your activity. Now activity isn't attached forever because obviously you'll scroll down and people are only going to scroll so far. And it's only, in the past, it's only been like 2 weeks worth of updates anyway. So it needs to be fresh, but just keep in mind that it's there. And I can see here that your last update, you like that, that post of his was 2 days ago that you've liked. You've commented on this one from 3 days ago. This was 1 week ago. So just make sure that you're building your visibility and relationships. This is the area to sort of see that you are active and engaging with people and tagging people and building that with them. So have a look at what you can do there. Now if you're going to go back to your profile and continue on. Now that's really interesting. I just told you to update your background image and it's been updated. So I don't know if it just wasn't refreshed in the first place or you just did that while I was recording this video. Either way, that's spooky. So I can see you've got some sort of photo of a presentation of a website, but which is interesting, but I have no idea what it is. So look at it and maybe move it up and down. Maybe there's something you wanted to feature within that slide. So you might want to just go in edit and then reposition it or find something to match brand. That was spooky. All right, keeping going down. Now we're going to talk experience. You have 5 roles of experience that you can see. The first one is featured in full. Actually, I've missed something and I'm going to go back to it, and purely because it's not on your profile. The thing that is missing up the top here is your summary. Now the summary section used to be in full, and that's what just highlighted it, but you haven't got one at all. So action, I'm not sure how many actions we're up to now, but the next action is to write a summary. Now that might seem challenging, but I have got a 7-step summary formula to help put that together, and I can certainly help you write it or write it for you. But the thing you want to focus on is the only 2 lines of a summary is visible. So you want those 2 lines to be engaging enough so people click and read more. And it's really your story. It's your connection piece with your audience so that people can see, who is Julianne? What are you passionate about? What are you expert in? What do you do? And what do you want the reader to do next? And then you can have what's called some rich media to back it up. So things like videos, PDF flyers, documents, photos, links to things. So that's missing up from up here. But like I said, you've only got 2 lines, and the rest of the information is behind a click. But in the experience, the first role of your experience is in full. So if I was going to put some weight on activity, this is what I would be doing first. And you can also use my 7-step formula in order to actually do that. So you've talked about DDLS, what DDLS do. Whoops. But I would be talking more in terms of also what do you do at DDLS? I mean, you're the state manager, so a bit about what you do, the problems you solve as an organisation, how you help, why DDLS over, why do you stand out over your competitors, and also what next? What do people need to do? How do they engage with you? That sort of thing. And then you've got the ability to add some rich media. So have at least 3 items of rich media. So it might be a link to your website. It might be your events page with all your training courses coming up. It might be a link to, I don't know, maybe a video overview or a PDF document about your organization, something like that. Now you do have a company page, and I can see your link to it, which is great. Now, if we scroll down, we've got your previous roles. So here's 5 previous roles. This one is linked to a company page. These ones aren't. But given the age that these places may not exist, Computer Power doesn't exist anymore. But Western Power would. So you could actually link to a company page if you like. But given it's a while ago, it's just your backstory. This one here, that one's 6-7 years ago now. You finished up there, principal at the International College, but you could still add some information about what you did there, because if you think about it in relation to the transferable skills and those keywords that relate to what people are looking for now, you can certainly do that. Then you've got education, anything that you've studied. Obviously, this one's DDLS. And different things, so you've got all that in there, and also volunteer roles in here. So if you're on the board of something, you're on a committee, pop that in here as well, if it's relevant to your work as well. So for example, if you're on the board of the Project Management Institute, you'd put that in here. Next, you've got your skills and endorsements. Now, skills, once again, are keywords. Focus on the things that you're known for, the expertise you have, and the things that your ideal clients are then searching for. So it's a bit of a balance of both. And make sure that the 3 here are the critical ones you want featured. Yours are in the order, the default order. And the default order is such that it's how many endorsements you have. So you have 38 endorsements for this one, 36 for this, 28 for this, 21 for this. So if you suddenly got 10 more for project delivery, that would bump change management out. But what you can do is take control, and in edit mode, you simply drag them around and reorder them. So if for example, stakeholder management was something you wanted in the top 3, you simply click and drag it here. And also add some more keywords, so other things that you're known for, other things you do, other things that people are looking for that you and your organization do. Then we've got the accomplishment section. These are in the order of how many you have per item. So make sure you've got all your certifications in here, your honours and awards, organisations you're a member of. Also, you've got publications, projects in this section. Anything like that will go in here. It's just the extra layer for your credibility, for your story. Only one is shown. So for example, certifications, you click all and then you see all 3 of them. The beauty of adding publications and projects is that you can add a link to a website, so you've got the ability to drive traffic. So if you're involved in a big project, you can put the project team members in, so you can show that they're there, and you can also put a website. So for example, if you're the sponsor of an organization, such as Project Management Institute, that could be established as a project. And then you could put some of the PMI committee as team members, the ones that you're dealing with, and a link to the PMI website. And maybe there's a page where your logo appears or something like that. So straight away, it gives you credibility. It gives you more of a story. It connects you to something beyond beyond you. It could also connect to, on your own website, maybe you've got a page about that sponsorship arrangement or your relationship with, or your passion for project management, something like that. So you can put links there as well. And then under that, of course, we've got things that you're following. So back up to the top. And this is a section that has been moved, and a few people have asked where all this information is. So it's the contact info. It used to be behind the info button. Now it's up the top here. You click show more, and here's the information. Now we are first level connections, so I will see all your contact information. But if you're not, then you don't see email, you don't see phone, you don't see instant messenger and birthday and things like that. But I can see here you haven't filled it all out. So here's a quick bit of homework, and do this one first because it's easy. Set your profile URL. So you can see here it's got linkedin.com/in/Julianne-Sparke- blah, 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 blah. You want to get rid of all this crap here and actually just have something succinct. So if you can get your name, great. But if it's a common name, then it's going to be tricky. So you might have to have Julianne you might have your middle initial, or you might put something else in there. But if you can, and thinking a web link hasn't got any spaces, so you might have your name without any spaces. You might leave that dash in the middle. So try different variations. It just makes it look more professional and easier to reference. Email address is your professional address, which is great. Also, I would add a phone number here. Now, if you don't want to put your mobile number, if you don't want your connections phoning your mobile, then put the office number here. But do have a phone number, because a lot of people use LinkedIn as a place to contact people. And if you're on the app, it's great to go to someone's profile and be able to ring them straight away. So certainly have a phone number. And if you're comfortable having your mobile phone number, have it in there too. It depends on how you work. As a business owner and as a professional, I'd certainly have my mobile. But when you work for an organisation, especially your team may not want to have their individual mobile numbers there. That's when the organisation number would be more effective. You've got your Twitter address here, and you can put your birthday in there, not because you want people to wish you a happy birthday, but more of it's a great place to engage. So if someone's looking to contact you and build a relationship, and they see it's your birthday, it's a reason for them to kind of something they can bring into that conversation. So I'd certainly have that there. And then the final part of your profile I wanted to quickly mention is people also viewed. You can't control who's in this list. There are 10 people that LinkedIn just put here that from the algorithm that people look at next. So, and it could be conversations you're in. So for example, Michelle's at the top here. Maybe you're in a lot of conversations with Michelle and people are clicking on her profile because she's commenting on your things or you're commenting on hers, whatever it is. But the point with this is you can turn this section off in your privacy settings. So there's a couple of schools of thought on this. If there are people on your team, like if everybody here is DDLS, it shows that you've got a very strong connected team and you're very engaged on LinkedIn and engaging with each other, and it actually promotes the team. So that can be a good thing for an organisation. If it's people in your industry, so there's quite a few people here that are in your industry, then that can be a good thing too. If they're competitors, people you don't know, or people that you really have no respect for, then that's when I would certainly turn it off. So it depends. Turning it off just means this space is blank. So there's no detriment to turning it off. But by having it on, you're actually driving your viewer to click on these profiles potentially. So that's what I'm saying. If it's all your team members, perfect, that's great. And if it's people that are in your industry, that can be useful. But if it's not, that's when it's not useful. So if you need any help with all this, if it makes no sense at all, book me to come in and help you and your team put this together. But give it a go. There's a couple of things you can fix straight away. And have fun with it. But keep in mind, this is your personal brand in a professional context. So it's really important to invest in building a strong profile that sets you apart, especially as a manager in the business. But also leading your team then, because once you're doing that, then your team then can follow. And having some guidelines for the team, creating some formulas for different parts of the profile, and then training them in how to actually use it and how to set themselves up and engage with people, because it reflects on not only themselves but on the organisation as well, and how to also connect to the company page. And a final note, I'm just going to jump into your company page. So you do have a company page, which is great. you want to make sure that all your team members connect to the company page, so that when you're on the page, you can see how many staff there are. So for me, I'm connected to you, but I'm looking at your company page, and 2 of my connections I can see work at DDLS, and I can see all the 116 employees. Now, if you've got obviously more employees, that means some aren't connected to the page. So if I click there, I can now see the list of people connected, and it will start with the ones I'm connected to, and then we've got the ones that are second degree away from me, so people who are probably connected to you and Louisa, and then from there it will go to third if it's any beyond, but I'd imagine most are connected to you. But if we look here, under the actual information for DDLS, it says you have 51 to 200 employees in that section. So if that might be accurate, but if 116, maybe you've got 200 employees, where are the other, the other 84, my brain wasn't working for a moment, are they not on LinkedIn, or are they just simply not connected to the page? So you want to have a look at that. And also, just a side note on the company page, while it's got the logo here, there's no branding at the top here, so you can add a background image to the company page, make sure that About Us is relevant, and sharing updates. There we go. We've got updates. So that's, these are regular updates, which is great. Are people engaging with it? So if, for example, if these have been generated by your head office over East, this is where the guidelines come in, having some guidelines around the team so that all the team are actually following the company page. Are they engaging with it? So maybe you get them all to like or comment on the updates from time to time, and then potentially share them to their own profiles to give some more exposure to the company page and to DDLS as a whole. So that's where the guidelines come in. So you can create a whole content map for the individuals in the team. So like I said, if you need any help, let me know. That's what I'm here for. But otherwise, go off and enjoy, update your profile, and have fun with it. So thanks for being the guinea pig, Julianne, and I hope you enjoyed this little video, and look forward to seeing your updates. Thanks for watching.